Hi everyone, my name's Veruska. In this video I'm going to teach you how to contour. Contouring is a technique that a lot of women are scared of because they're not sure where to start or what products to use and what type of brush they're meant to use, how they're meant to hold the brush. So I'm going to clear all of that up for you. The products that I'm going to be using today are Illamasqua's powder blusher in Disobey. Disobey is a really cool brown. It's a sort of an ashy brown, so it'll give you that perfect contour shade that you want. You want it to look like a shadow. You don't want any kind of warmth. You don't want any shimmer when you do a contour either. You just want it to be completely cool and look like a natural shadow. The brush that I'm going to be using is an angled, as you can see, an angled powder blusher here. Brusher, perhaps even. And another brush that I'll be using is just a large eyeshadow brush by Ecotools. Okay, so first things first. When you're applying your contour, we're going to start with cheeks, and then I'm going to show you how to contour your nose, then I'll show you how to contour your jawline, temples, hairline, etc. But we'll start with cheeks first. So a good rule when you're contouring your cheeks, this is what I always follow so that it looks very neat and very natural. It doesn't look like some kind of war paint down the side of your face, a big stripe, is from the tip. Imagine a line running from the tip, or the end of your lip here, right up to the tip of your ear. And then imagine another line running again from the edge of your lip to the middle of your ear. So you'll see then that you have a triangle that you've created. Now this triangle is where you start, that's where most of the colour should be deposited, and then you blend down into nothing, right down to the lip. So I'll show you how to do that. So pick up a little bit of product on your brush. It's always good to start with too little product, never start with too much, just because otherwise it'll be a nightmare to try and blend it out. Okay, so I'm going to put it on a little bit thicker just so you can really see what I'm doing. I'd probably do it more subtle just for myself. At the minute I have absolutely no contour, no blusher, just foundation on. Alright, when you start with your contour blusher, unlike doing a pink blush or a coloured blush, you work from the back in. With normal blush, you work from the front back, but contour is different. Okay, so this makes sure that you get all the product up where you need it, where you're wanting to create the definition, and not where you don't want it. Because if you bring it all the way down here, it's going to make you look bruised and look really strange, because your face isn't meant to do that. Okay, I'll just get rid of some of the product. So we've created from the line from the edge of our mouth up to the tip of our ear, and again from the edge of our mouth to the middle of our ear. So there's my triangle that I'm going to be working on. So start from the back and work your way forwards. And I'm doing little strokes, little circles. I'm just holding my brush like that. And just little circles in that triangle. You don't want to go outside of the lines either. It's all about blending but staying within that parameter, within that triangle that you've created, because otherwise it'll ruin the whole effect. So by contouring your cheeks, you're really lifting your face. Of course it gives the definition of incredibly high cheekbones, but it'll thin your face down too. So if you have a very wide face or a very round face, it can it'll really narrow that down for you if that's what you're after. Okay, so as you can see, I've been working from the back. Now I'm going to start to work slowly down towards my lip. And you want it to be pretty much nothing, nearly no product when you get to your lip. Now I've done it a bit heavier than I usually would because I want you to be able to see it. But as you can see, if you look on this side, not much definition, and then on this side you can see there's a really fine line there, but just make sure you really blend it out. Now, okay, so after I've done my cheek, I like to come in and do the jawline. Defining your jawline will give you that really nice, neat, clean look, the look of one chin. So I'll show you how to do that. I think it really narrows your face. It opens up all your features, and it can take a few years off as well. So when I do my jawline, you don't want it to look like you have a 5 o'clock shadow. So always start with a very, very small amount of product on the end of the same brush. I'm using this brush again. This is great as well, defining your jawline in photos. If you're getting photographs taken, it'll just give you a very neat, clean cut jawline. So I start from up at the edge of my ear, and I stick right to the jawline, and I work all my way down to about here. I don't come onto my chin. Unless you have a wide chin, then you can, but I don't. So. And I just sort of rub it back and forth, little circles. You want to keep this one quite fine. You really don't want it too dark, because it will look like a moustache or a beard even. Okay, so that's that. When I contour my cheeks and my jawline, I make sure that I never get any contour powder in this space here. I want to keep this nice and clean. So that'll show you that I have that nice line for my cheekbone, and then nothing, and then that contour there. Okay, the next place I like to contour is my temple. This will really open and lift your eyes up, and it also, once again, it works with the cheek contour. So when you just contour here and you have this bit clean, it gives the illusion of a nice high cheekbone and open eyes. And we can all feel where our temple is. You don't want to take it up too high. I usually pop it so you can see where my brow is starting to arch and end. I put it in that little square there, and I don't bring it down close to the brow either, because you want the brow bone to be nice and prominent. I've done a tutorial on eyebrows, so I'll just pop the link up here if you'd like to go watch it. Alright, so a light hand when you do your temple. That's really all I would do. Okay, so as you can see, I've got a contour here, here and here. You can see the difference from that side to that side. Okay, so if you have quite a high forehead or a high hairline and you'd like to bring that down a bit and give the illusion of a smaller forehead, I'm not going to do it on my head because I don't have a very high hairline, but what I do on people who do have a high hairline is the same thing. I get some of their contour, the same that I've been using on their cheeks and on their temple, and I just work it very close to their hairline. Just very, very close and very light. So I'll just do a little bit here so you can see. And that'll help bring the forehead down a little bit and give the illusion of a smaller forehead. When I come to the middle here of the hairline, I tend to really, I don't use too much contour product in the middle of this bit here because that'll be very, very obvious. I keep it just to the outsides here and very lightly in the middle. Alright, all that's left is to show you how to contour the nose. Now that's my favourite part. If you have a very thin nose, you won't need to contour at all. This is more for if you have quite a wide nose or you just want a bit more definition. If you have a thin nose, you'd want to highlight, and that'll be in my next tutorial for you. Alright, so using the same contour and my large powder brush from Ecotools. That's just me tapping off the product. You don't want to use too much on your nose because you'll get quite the line. It'll be very obvious. You don't want it to be obvious. You just want it to be a light shadow. Because the nose is one place that you can really mess up with contour. But it's easy. So, what you want to do is you're going to contour down the side and down the other side and straight across. Now how I do this with this brush, I don't use the edge. I use it sideways like this, and that way I don't get a big harsh line. So let me just check that I don't have too much product on. Alright, so this is how I do it. And I don't start right up in the corner of my eye. I'll start down where I see my nose starts to widen out. So you can see here, it starts to get a bit wide. So this is how I do it. one line from the edge and the other edge and straight across. And then from there, let me just get my mirror. You can just fill it out a bit or colour in that little bit that you've created, but you don't want to use too much product because otherwise you're going to get a very dark stripe down the edge of your nose. Alright, and that would be how I'd contour my nose. If you have quite a wide nose, obviously you bring the contour in on the edges to match how wide you would like your nose to be. Okay, I'm just going to even up the other side. I have both sides done now evenly with my contour, so you can see it gives really lovely definition. It lifts my face, it lifts my eyes, and it gives me a nice jawline. And it makes my nose look nice and straight and neat. Another area that you can contour that I forgot to mention, if you have very small lips, this isn't for anyone, if you have big lips definitely don't do this, but if you have small lips, another place that you can contour is just underneath the bottom lip. So this takes a very light hand because otherwise it will look like you have food around your mouth. I'm using this brush again. There's only the tiniest bit of product. If you're not sure, if you think you have too much, just rub it off on the back of your hand and come in and just a light shade under your lips. And that can really give the appearance of a bigger lip. So that's how you contour. If you do nothing else, always work your contour from the back forwards. That'll make sure that you don't get a whole heap of product here because that's not what you want. That'll be reversed. You know, you really want it all up here and then coming down into nothing near the lips. Thank you for watching my tutorial. The next one will be out on Thursday and that will show you how to highlight. So I look forward to seeing you then. Thanks.